your child transitions to high school. The class of 2028, right? It sounds like it's a long way away. It's not. It's not. It is so much closer than you could ever imagine. And one of the things that we do here at Palisades High School as a part of the graduation requirements and culmination activities is senior students need to give a portfolio presentation during their senior year. Just prior to this information night, we had our first round of portfolio presentations for the class of 2024. Without question, the number one remark we hear from our current seniors, I can't believe how fast my time went in high school. Mr. Heffernan, I didn't believe you when you told me when I was a freshman that high school was going to go so quick, and it went quicker than I could have imagined. Tonight is really the beginning of the next 4.5 years. It's not the only time you'll get this information. It's not the only time that we'll be available to talk with you. It's really a process. It's a process that takes a while to fully understand the high school program and all the opportunities that are available. So this evening, we have a number of different people that are going to talk with you. And we're going to try to share with you some of the differences that exist between the middle school and the high school, to try to get some context for you. We're going to talk with you a little bit about what the freshman schedule will look like. We're going to talk about some of the options, and our department chair will do actually more of this. They'll talk about some of the options that are available for a 9th grade student, because those options look a little different than our senior students. We'll talk about course registration timeline, and we'll give you some information for next steps. So we're going to kind of give you the 30,000-foot view tonight, try to give you as much information as we possibly can, knowing that there'll be more information throughout the spring, into the summer, and obviously into the start of next school year. So with that being said, let's talk about some of the differences that exist. And this presentation I'm giving you tonight is very, very similar to what I gave the 8th grade students 2 weeks or so ago. Mrs. Schlosser and I, my assistant principal at the middle school, and we gave this information to the students as well. So the first thing that's really noticeable to most is that our classes are longer. Classes are about 90 minutes. So students will get a set of 4 classes in the first semester. Those 4 classes will be 90 minutes or so long, 89 minutes to be exact. Those classes will end at the end of January, and they'll get 4 new classes for the second semester. When I initially say that, it might be something where, oh, that's a lot. One of the things we hear from freshmen, they love it. They couldn't even imagine going back to a 45-minute class period. So overwhelmingly, it's something that helps students learn. It keeps them focused on less content, where they go a bit deeper. And the overwhelming majority of the kids say that's something they really, really enjoy. The day they step into high school, it's about earning credits toward graduation. In order to meet our graduation requirements, students need a minimum of 24.5 credits. So how do you get credit? If you take a class every day for 1 semester, that's worth 1 credit. If you take a class every other day for 1 semester, that's a half credit. So our school board, being in compliance with the Pennsylvania Department of Education, we require a minimum number of credits in each specific content area. A minimum of 24.5 credits to graduate. Truth be told, most of our students are closer to 30 credits when they graduate because they're loading up on electives. They're taking advantage of opportunities to learn and to prepare themselves for whatever might come next. The one thing I hear a lot from 8th graders is, I can't wait to go to high school because I get choices in my classes. Kind of true. Kind of true. And as I told the students, the number of choices they get in the courses they take will increase over their high school career with success in those prerequisite classes. So as they come into Palisades High School next year, their academic core is going to be determined for them based upon the courses they've taken this year and the success in those courses. Elective options, career pathway options, there will be an increased space in their schedule to choose those electives as they go through high school, So the key is really to be successful early, open up room in your schedule for more of those options as you go through your high school career. Our grading system is very similar to the middle school. I won't go too far into detail on that. And we have a special mentoring program, our Link Crew mentoring program. It is something you'll hear about. You'll hear about from Mrs. Schlosser. You'll hear a lot about it during the summertime when we get ready to ramp up for next school year. But it's really a student mentoring program where your sons and daughters will be supported and coached and mentored by kids who are currently here at the high school. So let's jump for a second to a freshman schedule, what it could potentially look like. So I talked with you about the semester configurations. Let's put a context to it. Over on the left-hand side is your first semester. Over on your right-hand side is your second semester. Let's say for this particular freshman student, 2 of their academic cores will be the first semester, 2 of your academic cores will be the second semester. I put those in yellow because those are determined for them based upon teacher recommendation, classes they're taking now, performance and readiness coming into high school. Down here is where we start to talk about options for students. This particular student, which is most of your children, will have an elective credit that they can select. They'll take a PE class, which is a half credit every other day of one semester, which gives them another half credit elective option. If they're in world language and they plan to go to a post-secondary institution upon graduation, we highly, highly recommend 2 years of a language at the high school level. So if they were in Spanish 1 this past year and they want to stay with Spanish, they go to Spanish 2. If they were in French 1 and they're like, no, I want to change and go to something else, then they can choose German or French or whatever else they want to choose at that point in time. And then they'll have another elective credit. So when you look at this child's schedule, 4 of the classes are determined of the 8. They'll have an elective option there, they'll have an elective option there, and they'll have another one there. So they'll have 2.5 credits of electives that they can select. This gets kids excited. It could be music, it could be technology, it could be art, it could be engineering. This is where a lot of those options start to come into play for you as parents and your children. So what I did put on here to have easy access for all of you, here are the graduation requirements. I wouldn't get too worried about that as you embark upon high school. We will guide you through that. But know that there are minimum graduation requirements for a student that stays at the high school all day versus one that goes to the technical school. There's a couple little different options with the academic core because of the time that they're at the tech school versus the time they're here at the high school. With that being said, I'm going to quickly hand it off to our counselors to talk with you a bit more about programming, about course registration timelines. And these are 2 very, very important people that I want to familiarize you with. First of all, this is Lori Turgeon. She's one of our school counselors. And this is Ms. Brianna Waldman, our other school counselor. So I'll now turn the microphone over to them. And I promise they won't drop it like that.
Okay. I'll try not. Hi, good evening, everyone. So Ms. Baldwin and I are just going to go over some stuff with you regarding course selection and the dates and the timelines. Okay, so our course registration, we have a lot of information posted on the website. If you go to the Palisades High School website, you'll see, you're going to make sure you're in the high school one, and there is for parents and students in the middle, and then we put information about course registration on there. Our curriculum guide for next year is posted. I highly encourage you to review the curriculum guide so your child can get an understanding of what the courses are that they're registering for, and it's a really good resource for you. Some of the other things that the curriculum guide mentions is our advanced placement program, our AP courses that are available, and also there's a link for the technical school application. So important deadlines. February 9th was the deadline for the tech school application. If your child is still interested though, I would highly encourage you to go onto their website and complete their applications. They'll get that completed as soon as possible. They'll be making their selections within the next month for who's going to be attending there next year. February 22nd, academic course placements should come home to you from the middle school. regarding the courses that your child is being recommended for next school year, in regards to their English, their math, their science, and their history courses, as well as world language courses. On the back of that form will also be the area for them to pick what elective courses they want to take for next year. So again, review the curriculum guide, go over those elective courses with your child, and have them make their selections. On February 28th, those forms should be returned to Ms. McComb in the guidance office over at the middle school. And then we will actually be going over to the middle school, Ms. Wallman and I, and we'll be meeting with all of the 8th grade students. We'll be going through their course registration with them and entering it into our online system. Turn it over to Ms. Wallman.
Okay, for students that are interested in the technical school program, so they have a choice to enroll during their 9th or 10th grade years. So again, that application must be submitted on their website. February 9th was an application deadline, and they need to be completed if they're in either 9th or 10th grade. So this will be posted online as well. There's a video to learn a little bit more about the tech school, and then there are 2 school counselors over at the tech school as well that can answer any questions. Now I'm going to turn this over to Amber Schlosser, Assistant Principal.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome. We're so happy to have you and look forward to seeing your children next year. One thing that's important that we've seen for student success is getting involved. Mr. Gilbert, our athletics director, is going to talk about sports. But just getting involved in clubs or other programs really help get your kids connected here at the high school. So some things to think about, like Ms. Baldwin said, at the tech school. Take some time to visit their program, the website. If there's questions, again, reach out to them. We also have career pathway programs. Not something that 9th graders particularly get really invested in yet, but if they have ideas as they progress throughout high school, meet with their counselor. If they have interest in any one of the pathways, the some of our department chairs are going to go through, whether it's art and engineering, business, education, medical. We have a lot of great opportunities there for students. They have ideas for mock interviews, or they can go to field trip experiences and all those kind of events that would help them have experience before making a decision to be involved in post-secondary education. AP courses is something that not necessarily their 9th grade year, but as they progress into their sophomore, most likely junior and senior year, AP courses will be available for them. And then also we have dual enrollment programs in our Cyber Academy. Dual enrollment, again, something for them to think about as they become an upperclassman. We work through different colleges. And our cyber program, we have multiple opportunities for them to be involved, typically more towards their junior, their senior year, to fit in some course credits. So just some things to think about, extracurriculars, other programming. If they have questions, talk through it with their counselor. Also have them reach out to their Link Crew mentors, which they'll have. Mr. Heffernan mentioned that before. Their freshman orientation, you'll receive mailing throughout the summer regarding that event. They'll meet their mentors then, and they can give you some great ideas of how they progress throughout the high school and just opportunities for them to get involved. Thank you again for joining us tonight. I believe we turn it over to Mr. Gilbert.
Good evening, I'm Brian Gilbert, I'm the athletic director here at the high school. Up there on the screen we have 10 sports, all right, for each boys and girls, with golf and swimming being independent, which means that we are not affiliated with the Colonial League in those sports. But we have had past golfers and swimmers swim independently using the Palisades name, just through another school or on their own to gain access to District 11. One of the things I wanted to mention also up there, the spring, winter, or fall. That's what the initial is after the sport. Something each year pops up that I want to mention to 8th grade parents, and one of the things I wanted to mention this year was the structure. Because a lot of 9th graders come to the high school and they're a little overwhelmed because they say, okay, now I'm in the high school, I have to compete with seniors, juniors, sophomores, and then fellow freshmen. the structures that we have, the sports that we have programs, they're called junior high programs, and a junior high program is really 7, 8, and 9. Now, if we have enough numbers in the 7th and 8th grade programs, then those 9th graders a lot of times move up and play JV, junior varsity. For example, baseball and softball, okay, both right now at the middle school, we have baseball and softball, and it's a junior high program. So if they get to the high school, okay, maybe they're a 9th grader that might not make the JV team. They can still play on the junior high level as well. Field hockey is a sport where it's 7, 8, and 9. Boys and girls wrestling, boys and girls basketball. Now basketball is a little different. Basketball is middle school and then junior high, JV, and varsity. It's the only sport in boys and girls that we can field 4 levels. So if we have enough participation, we can field 4 levels in basketball. So there are a lot of opportunities, and I wanted to mention that because in the past few years, I've heard 9th graders, who've always played a sport, came to high school, they stopped, and one of the reasons was that they were a little intimidated by having to play with the older boys and girls. The other thing I wanted to mention, if you don't already know, is that we have access to LVHN. It's our healthcare company that we partner with right now, and they provide us with 3 trainers, and they also provide us with a strength coach. And the strength coach is in the weight room all year round, working with kids in season and out of season. So if you have a son or daughter that wants to participate in a spring sport, in the winter and the fall, they can participate and train with Jacob, our strength coach, in the fitness center. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me in the athletic office. We hope to see everybody next year. I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Heffernan.
Good, thanks, Brian. And really the message is for Palisades High School is students need to be involved, and they need to be involved in multiple things. It is not uncommon for the lead in the play to be an athlete, and for that same person to possibly be in the band, and for that same person to be in NHS and one of the world language clubs. When you look at our students, they do multiple things across multiple seasons, from athletics to music to the arts to leadership and volunteer activities. That's the really awesome thing about being involved at a small school, that we want kids to do multiple things, and there's opportunities for them to do multiple things, and our advisors and our teachers all work together to give that child the best experience possible so that they can do multiple things. So very, very important, and we'll stress that message over and over again to your children as we talk with them. The next part of our program, you're going to have a chance to hear from each one of our department chairpersons, and they're going to focus specifically on 9th grade options that are available for your child as they go through the registration process. So there's a multitude of classes within each of these content areas, but you can't go anywhere till you get those prerequisites done in 9th grade, and you qualify for the 10th grade classes, and so on and so forth. So tonight, in an effort not to overwhelm you with too much information, you're going to have an opportunity to hear from each one of our department chairpersons, and they're going to specifically focus in on what those options are in the 9th grade year. So without any further delay, I'd like to turn it over to Mr. Rob Riley. Rob will be speaking behalf tonight on the art department.
All right, real quick, once again, I'm Rob Riley. I am not an art teacher, but I'm here to talk on behalf of Mr. Brent Jones and Lauren Sunday. They are together the team that run the art department here. Mr. Jones runs 2D, two-dimensional, and then the 3D is run by Mrs. Sunday. All right, so kicking off for the 9th graders, the focus in drawing and painting. That's a beginner level, gives them an idea of the whole process and lets them know if they want to pursue it any further. 3D design and sculpture, that's Mrs. Sunday. Graphic communications is Mr. Jones, and then art history is Mrs. Sunday as well. Next in line is AP 2D design. This isn't supplied as a freshman, but it is available for them further down the process. It's good to keep in mind if they're interested in art. Also, the art pathway is there. They'll get some exposure, some field experience in the professional world. They do a good number of field trips to get out there and meet some artists in the world. Clubs, photography club, art club as well. Art exhibits, we have a gallery right in the main office, or right outside the main office rather. Next line, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Brian Gilbert.
I always have the tough task of calling Mr. DJ Boyce over there, Mr. Riley. Oh my gosh. I'm Brian Gilbert. I'm also, besides the athletic director, the department head for business. So I want to take you through a few things related to our business courses. Actually, all these courses up there are available for freshmen. You just want to make sure you look at the prerequisite requirements for some of them. So if you took one in the first semester, you could take the other one, for example, Accounting 1, Accounting 2 in the second semester. But I want to try to make it easy. Again, I'm learning each year what's best to give 8th grade parents. So we bolded 3 classes, and I'm going to tell you why. Business Concepts is a general business class. Everything from marketing to international business, finance, advertising, the economy, entrepreneurship, all those little snippets are handled in Business Concepts, so it's a great overview to have freshman year. The other one is Multimedia Communications, where they focus on Adobe Photoshop. Now, Adobe Photoshop is a software program that's used in a lot of our other business classes and a lot of other classes throughout the high school. So it's another good class to get under your belt freshman year. And the third one is TV video production. One, because there's 2 and 3 that a lot of students want to take, and you got to start with 1, but more so that they get a chance to learn about Adobe Premiere and actually present and get up in front of other students and teachers to do some presentation, and those skills can be used throughout the other curriculum areas as well. So those are 3 classes that we recommend for freshmen. In addition, we have 2 clubs that we run through the business department, Future Business Leaders of America and a yearbook club. And we have, there's a scenario contest each year where we have kids actually try out, and if they make the team, it's the Ethics Bowl run by DeSales University. And it started in 2018, and we've been doing it every year, and it's a great event that we run through our business department. And finally, if you don't know, PSD TV is a TV station that we have here at the high school. All right, and we broadcast 3 different ways. We have a YouTube channel, okay? We have live stream events. We live stream performances here in the auditorium. We live stream sporting events, graduation. But more importantly, we have our own Service Electric channel. So if you have Service Electric cable TV at home, you'll be able to see our Palisades channel. So our students are constantly updating material that's run in those 3 avenues through PSD TV. And now, I have the privilege to turn it back over to Mr. Riley.
He's always a hard act to follow. All right, here goes. Once again, I'm Mr. Riley. That is me, I promise you. A little bit different. Believe it or not, that was only like 2 years ago. However, there's 2 words that jumped out. Well, actually, 1 word that jumped out of 2 mouths earlier: opportunity. One thing that Palisades supplies a lot of is opportunities. In many high schools in the area, there's no engineering curriculum. However, here at Palisades, we have it. We focus on development, creativity, research, applications, hands-on, and problem solving. If I just had to point out a couple characteristics. So there's 2 paths. There's the mechanical engineering path, where they start off with engineering design as a freshman. Okay, that's where they find out many different areas of engineering. They learn about civil engineering, they learn about electrical, mechanical, and whatnot. And then they decide which avenue they want to go from there. If they want to further their education within the engineering career, or they want to go towards architecture. Architecture focuses more on the buildings, residential and commercial, and civil engineering. That's all available for the 9th graders, the Intro to Engineering and the Architecture 1. And this is the career pathway. Just like the pathways were mentioned earlier: professional careers, future, job shadowing, networking, field experiences. Just next week, we're going to Lutron to visit them, talk with some engineers. I think it's important for any of the kids that are interested in the engineering pathway to get some experience out there, see what the engineers do out there in the real world, talk to them, find out what their jobs are like, and really start to stir up an interest in that field. Next line, ladies and gentlemen, Carolee Deemer, English department.
Thank you, Mr. Riley. Hi, everyone. So great to see you. Thank you all for coming out tonight. I know starting high school is a really exciting time for your children, so thank you for being here. So my name is Carolee Deemer. I'm the department chair for the English department. Up there you'll see some student work from years past with some literature that we read in 9th grade English. English, there really is an option for the core English class that your children will take their first year. Everyone takes the core English 9 class. And so for all of those students, there is a summer reading requirement for this year, for their 9th grade year. And the options there are to read the graphic novel Mouse, which is about the Holocaust, or Warriors Don't Cry, which is a memoir from the Civil Rights Movement. And so in the beginning of the year, whether they have English their first semester or their second semester, they'll take a summer reading assessment within the first 2 weeks of the school year. So these books are available at the high school library, at a public library, or if they want to purchase their own book, they're certainly available through Amazon. Some electives that we have for those elective credit options, again, oh no, there we go. We offer an advanced reading seminar class, which is for students interested in pursuing one particular type of genre of literature, perhaps exploring a particular author. We have a creative writing class, SAT reading and writing preparation, an effective communication class, which builds on those skills of reading, writing, speaking, and listening. An education pathway seminar is the capstone course for students interested in the education pathway, which I'll go over on the next slide. And we also offer a journalism 1 and 2 course, as well as the club or activity. Our education career pathway is for students interested in a career in early childhood, elementary, middle, or secondary education. And like I said, that capstone seminar class gives students an opportunity to go out and job shadow in the classroom and do classroom observations at the grade level of their interest. And some clubs that I would encourage all 9th graders to take a look at, especially if they want to build those reading, writing, speaking, and listening skills, is our Reading Olympics Club, our debate team, and journalism. And so there's a little plug for our student newspaper, The Pirate's Pearl, which is linked on the school's website. And I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Steve Danley, our mathematician magician. I just had to. Alliteration. All right. The down button, apparently. Oh.
Hi, I'm Steve Danley. I'm the Sheriff Department, Department Chair. I share with Amy Wright. I'd like to go over what our department does. Mostly focusing on like 8th grade going into 9th grade. All right, so I got 8th grade courses that children are currently in. They're in math, data, pre-algebra. And those students will either go to Algebra 1 or they'll go to Algebra 1A/Algebra 1B. That depends on criteria we get from the middle school. We get a bunch of data, we go through it, and we want to make sure they're in a successful place. And the Algebra 1, Part A and Part B is 2 semesters covering all of Algebra 1. The Algebra 1 students will go right into Geometry Level 1, and then the Geometry students from the middle school will go right into the Algebra 2 honors. So you can see the placing is based on MAP scores, PSSA, class grade, and teacher recommendations from the middle school. Something we take very seriously. I take the first crack at it and go through and do all the recommendations, and then Ms. Wright takes a look at it, and we go through like bubbles and say, could this student probably make it here or there? But it's, kind of tough thing to do. Other classes offered are all the way up through the geometry. With 2 different levels of geometry, 2 different levels of Algebra 2, all the way up through trigonometry, A-trig, calculus, pre-calculus, statistics. We even have intro to computer science, which is under the math department, AP statistics. So there's a lot of opportunities through the years. And the fact that we are a block skeleton type school, the students are math-minded and science-minded kind of thing. They want to get through more math. A lot of them double up in their sophomore year. It's not unusual to see students take 1 class in the first marking period, 1 class in the second marking period as a sophomore, and then they start having choices after that, who they want to go. So related department activities and programs, come from
Thank you.
Oh, yes.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. I'm Neil Hong. I'm the music co-department chair. I'm the choir teacher and theater director here at the high school, along with my band and orchestra colleagues, Ms. Yost and Ms. Kumpf. We're the music staff here, and welcome to the high school. Just like it was so impressive to see all those sports that we field here at being such a small school, and the big list of activities we have being such a small school, we also have a robust offering in the arts. And I really encourage you to consider an area you can be involved in. So I have some pictures from our winter concert up here. It's a very picture-heavy slide, don't you think? Maybe I went a little overboard. We have choir, orchestra, jazz band, and concert band as our ensembles that your child could be involved in here. I have those listed at the top. That's similar to the ensembles that they're involved in now at the middle school. The difference being, notably, if you take concert choir, that is not general music like it is at the middle school. We also have a guitar class that is open to freshmen, Guitar 1, musical theater course, and digital music, which has to do with using our Mac lab to produce music digitally. So students will oftentimes be involved in one of the top ensembles as a freshman, as it's a really great way to get some elective credit, really great way to be involved and meet other students that are older, and also a great way to start out their career here at the high school. Please note the options. 1 credit would be every day for 1 semester, half credit would be every other day. Fits very nicely that half credit with a gym or another elective course. In addition to those courses, we have many after-school activities. We really encourage you being involved. First off in our year is the marching band. There's a picture from the championships last year of our marching band. I work on the fall play. That is like the non-singing show. That is in October, November. Our spring musical, even though it's in the winter, is what's behind this curtain right now. That's the Addams Family, coming up in just 2 weeks. And we also have an open mic night called Coffee House. And one more final thing I'll talk about, which is independent study. And that is if your student is involved, perhaps at the technical school, perhaps involved in some other courses that conflicted, they can participate after school and receive credit for that course by meeting the requirements. That's called independent study. And your teacher will reach out to you about that if you're interested. Please let those directors know, and we'll be happy to involve you. Our counselors do a great job of keeping everybody involved, working on the scheduling and such. So please reach out to us with any questions related to the arts. And I'm going to turn it over to science. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Mark Shelton, Science Department Chair here at the high school, and I'll get right to it. Next year, biology is what 9th graders take. It will either be biology 1 or 2. That's not a sequential course, they're leveled. So biology 1 moves at a faster pace, goes more in depth, more independent. Biology 2, more support. But both cover the same content, they're keystone courses. And a few people, a few 9th graders that are interested in science, why wouldn't you be, are going to take chemistry as a second science, so they would double up. The chemistry course is the logical next step because chemistry is sort of the key to getting into some of the more advanced courses as we move up in high school. And I'm obviously not going to go through the big list there, but as you can see, we offer a lot of other science classes, a lot of opportunities as they go through the rest of their high school career, including 3 AP classes. And also just a couple clubs and opportunities through the science department. We have the STEM Outreach Club. They run several things, including some community events, planting trees, but their big event of the year is STEM Night Out, which is happening March 7th. It's for all middle schoolers and elementary age kids and their parents. You might enjoy making paper airplanes too, but there's lots of opportunities. It's a really fun night, so please come. And Medical Career Pathways is another opportunity That is for students that are interested in going to the many varied careers in medical field. We have partnerships with both LVHN and St. Luke's right now that get our kids out into the field and get them involved in programs so they know what to expect when they get out of high school. And I am turning it over to Mr. Bob C.
Hi, thank you. My name is Alex Botsy. I'm here for the Social Studies Department tonight. Thanks for coming out. So currently, your 8th graders are likely taking US and World 1, and then next year is 9th graders will be taking US and World 2. And that has 2 different options, level 1 and level 2, based upon the amount of rigor or speed that they want to go at. There are a couple of elective options open to freshmen as well. There's sports and American society, there's economics, and there's non-Western history and culture. You don't have to worry about this yet, but further down the road, they can look forward to some of these other courses. And I just wanted to highlight, we do have 2 AP courses, AP American and AP European, that they can kind of progress towards as well. And then we have a couple of special offerings like student government clubs and the education pathway and the global studies pathway, which brings me to Mark. What language should Mark on page Davis?
Good evening, buenas noches. I am Paige Davis. My co-department chair, Margaret Nyman, is not here tonight, but she says hello as well. I guess I saved the best for last. Or maybe we are just world language at the end of the alphabet. We have a pretty amazing offering in our programs for 9th graders. There is such a differentiation based upon your students' needs. If they have reading in 8th grade, they can take level 1 of the language. French, Spanish, and German are all offered, which I do have to say is a pretty amazing support from our district because most districts don't have those 3 languages, they offer 2. So we are really lucky to be able to have all 3 here. If they've taken level 1 of a language, they continue on with level 2. That could be all for 9th grade, or they could double up and do 2 and 3. And as Mr. Heffernan previously mentioned, if they are college bound, it is suggested for 2 years of a world language at the high school level. If they're trying to get into a more competitive university, they'd like to see the scope and sequence 1 through AP. And we offer those again in all 3 languages. And again, it's all up here. And then we also offer levels 2, 3, 4, and AP at the high school. We have less commonly taught languages and cultures, which we use computer software, but we facilitate and we learn along with the students. I have to say my Chinese is getting a little bit better. Mr. Hong, please do not judge me. Ni hao. They call me Mr. Heffernan. So we do learn along with our students, and it's a pretty amazing course offering. And we have our Global Issues Seminar, which then comes into, I want to talk about our pathway really quickly. One thing about our pathway is that we are easily intertwined with the other pathways. The business, the art, the education, any of those pathways can also be combined with ours because we can find the language or cultural component if they are interested in it. So we want to let you know that we are flexible and we like to work with all the amazing departments here at the high school. We also offer French, German, and Spanish clubs. You do not need to be enrolled in a language to join the clubs. Maybe it doesn't fit in your schedule, but we welcome all, and we do welcome all of the students to participate in all of the clubs. So this past Tuesday was Fat Tuesday, Mardi Gras. Typically, we would have a huge Mardi Gras with our French, German, and Spanish clubs. We do really cool activities. We make crepes, we make masks, and we do things to celebrate culture and language. And you don't have to speak the language to be involved, but we do encourage all 9th graders to get out and join. We have a National Honor Society for each language as well as on top of the National Honor Society. So we really appreciate the dedication our students show to our program of study, and we like to reward them for their successes. We have offered travel abroad opportunities. We have gone to Paris, we've gone to Switzerland, Germany, Spain, Costa Rica, Mexico. We have awesome opportunities, and depending on what the situation is with COVID and everything, we're looking to get back into that. So there are also opportunities for your children to explore the world beyond Palisades. So thank you so much, and I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Heffernan.
So once again, we want to thank our department chairs for coming out tonight and just sharing with you some of the information as it relates to ninth grade offerings. I have a couple of housekeeping items before I wrap it up here. This Google slide presentation will be posted tomorrow. If you go to the high school homepage, under for parents and students, it will be under there, 8th grade parent night presentation. This is something you're going to want to refer back to look at those 9th grade suggestions and those 9th grade course options for your child. So this will be posted tomorrow. If you want to go back and watch the entire presentation, we have Kyle in the back. He's one of our video students. Kyle is filming it tonight. We're going to edit it and we'll post it on Tuesday. So if you have a friend or another family who was unable to make tonight's presentation, please tell them to check the website. It'll again be under for parents and students on the high school page. It'll be the 8th grade video presentation to put this whole presentation there. Even me dropping the video, so thank you for helping, or the clicker, so thank you. So that'll be up there. On this sheet we gave you as you came in tonight are all of the emails for the department chairs. If you have a question, if you're driving home tonight and you're like, oh, I'm wondering about this, on the back of it is my email, Amber's email, Lori and Brianna's email. Again, reach out to us, ask questions. We'll help you, we'll guide you. This is an exciting time. This is a really exciting time, but it's also a time where you're really anxious because you're not really sure of everything. We're going to give it to you in doses. We'll help you through it. And I think as you leave here tonight, the curriculum guide, Lori Turgeon and Brianna, our counselors, they mentioned the curriculum guide. That curriculum guide is like 80 pages. It's a lot in there. I would recommend you take a look at the curriculum guide and read about those freshman course offerings. So you heard tonight about what courses are good courses for freshmen. Start with those in the curriculum guide. That's going to be plenty. And then as you get some time and you start thinking about, well, what the long game look like? What's the goal look like at the end of the day? Then you can start reading down about prerequisites and the AP offerings and the advanced course offerings and the technical school offerings. You can take a look at all of that stuff, but it's a good starting point. Know the curriculum guide, know where it is, and then take a look at those 9th grade courses, which you heard from our department chairs about that. The one thing I don't think we stressed enough tonight, I heard a couple of our department chairs say it, is block scheduling is awesome. It's awesome. And it's not like a student's going to sit in class and be talked at for 90 minutes. That can't happen. Nobody learns that way. They're going to be involved in projects, they're going to be involved in group work, they're going to be involved in online learning, they're going to be involved in, yes, some direct instruction. It's going to really be a differentiated approach to learning. The really cool thing is, and Mr. Chilton touched upon this and others, if your child likes science, it's okay to take 2 science courses in 1 year. Most of our content areas allow students to double up if that's what they're passionate about, if that's what they want to learn about. If your kid's a math kid and they want to take as many math courses as they can in high school, they can double up. They can take Algebra 1 and Geometry in their freshman year. If your child likes sciences, no problem. They can sign up for bio and chem in the same year. So keep that in mind. Now, the English is a little different. It's more sequential. There's some course, but we have elective options within English that they can take English over the entire period. So if your child wants to double up, it's okay. We encourage it, but we'll try to make it work as best we can. Let me just end with this. I too have an 8th grader. I too have an 8th grader in a different school district. There's always a level of what that next school like. What's that big high school like? I can tell you one of the best things about Palisades High School is we have caring people that want the same thing for your kid as you do. They want your child to be successful. They want them to challenge themselves. We're going to challenge them. We're going to support them. We're going to push them along. We're going to catch them when they stumble. Palisades High School is one of the top in the country by U.S. News and World Report because of what our kids do, what our teachers do, what our parents do, working together to make this the best school possible. We have tremendous opportunities. I talk to other principals from the Lehigh Valley, from Lower Bucks County. They can't believe all the opportunities we have as a small high school of less than 500 kids. They say to me, how many pathways do you offer? How many AP courses do you offer? How many technical school programs are available at Upper Bucks? They can't believe the opportunities that students at Palisades have. We want students to take advantage of these opportunities because it's a time in their life where they're not freshmen. They're getting ready to be college students. They're getting ready to be full-time employees. They're getting ready to be involved in the military. They're getting ready to ... Finish the sentence. Just because we offer opportunity doesn't mean success. High school is hard work. High school is really hard work. But we know your kids can do it. We'll help them do it. We'll challenge them, and we'll get them ready with you, as they get ready to graduate from high school. So, the relationships. We're a small school. We have a great community. Kids know the teachers, and teachers know the kids. Those relationships in a small school are incredible, and they're what makes us us. So as you think about high school, and think about all the things we told you tonight, I want you to know that where you're sending your child is a place that will care tremendously for them, will prepare them if they meet us halfway, and we need parents to help us through this process. So again, most of the stuff I'm going to post either tomorrow or Tuesday. You have everybody's email that you can reach out to us at any point in time, and you will intermittently hear from me and the counselors throughout the next several months regarding what's the next step, what's going on next. Because freshman orientation, freshman information, it isn't a one-hit wonder. It's not a one thing and done. It's a process that quite honestly will take about a year. I just met with the freshmen last week, the class of 27. And I said, you're starting to figure out high school a little bit now. They're like, yeah. I said, a lot more relaxed. You understand all these things I'm talking about. They're like, yeah. So we look forward to the class of 2028. It's not that bad. I have a kid who's graduating in 2028. So we'll be around. Thank you for coming tonight. Appreciate the time. All the stuff will be posted, and look forward to the class of 2028 coming to Pirate Country. Have a good evening.